Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, December 15th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. This country will host a series of events in remembrance of the December 24th, 2013 deadly floods. The Christmas Eve floods claimed the lives of 12 persons and caused tremendous damage across the country. According to a release from the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, the planned events on the day are to encourage persons here to pause to remember those who perished and empathize with close relatives and friends who continue to mourn their loss. NEMO is also requesting prayers for healing of the nation, specifically for those still shaken by the floods. The National Program of Remembrance includes Prime Minister Dr. Ram Gonzalez sending signed cards to the relatives of the deceased, flags to be lowered from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on December 24th. Church bells will toll for 1 minute from 12 noon, and sirens on police headquarters will go off for 1 minute at midday. Additionally, all radio stations are asked to play low music from noon to 1 minute, and the entire nation is encouraged to pause and pray during that time. The general public is also being invited to participate in all the events, particularly a National Remembrance Service scheduled for the St. Mary's Anglican Church in Pembroke. That's on Wednesday, December 24th, 2014, and beginning at 3 p.m. A candlelight march from the church to Marty's gas station will be held immediately after the National Remembrance Service. The activities will culminate with a special church service at Rosebank on Christmas Day. To enhance integration in the OECS, there needs to be more promotion of greater collaboration in the social sector. This is according to Director of Social and Sustainable Development at the OECS Commission, Bentley Brown. He was speaking at a two-day workshop on civil society and the private sector consultation on the development agenda of the OECS region. Brown says that the Commission understands that there will be enhanced movement of goods and people throughout the region. But with respect to the people, he believes that they will need to look at some of the benefits citizens can get from moving in the wider economic space.
What are some of the benefits? How some of those benefits will be secured or enhanced? For example, as we think about social security and social protection programs. We know we have limited time, but I hope we will get a chance to hear your views. I don't think it's about the OECS telling you only about what we would like to do and what the heads may have mandated us to do. We want to have a frank and open discussion where you can hear from us and you can, more importantly, tell us what you are satisfied with and how we could really work with you to better and enhance the processes that we have started.
Meanwhile, OECS Commissioner Ellsworth John says there are a number of issues which first need to be looked at and confronted, mainly poverty and the teenage pregnancy.
Social underpinning that would allow for the economic union to strive. During the course of the next 2 days, what we would like to do is to focus on what are some of those social issues that affect the citizens of the OECS Economic Union, and how we can, I don't want to say level the playing field, but provide for the necessary social safety nets that would allow all of our citizens to be able to benefit from what is being attempted as an economic union. The economic union in the OECS is not unique, it's not the only one. The European Union has a similar arrangement, and they have a lot of resources that we don't have. Primarily what we have is our people and our ability to use our minds to come up with imaginative ways of moving our developmental agenda forward.
Meanwhile, Research Officer at the OECS Commission, Kim Clark, says the main objective of the two-day workshop is to build awareness among the civil and the private sectors on the revised Treaty of Bastia.
Components of the treaty, the objectives of the treaty, and within that treaty, or coming out of that treaty, there's the OECS Growth and Development Strategy, and we're looking to highlight the components of the strategy. We're going to focus also on the social development and protection chapter of that strategy, and we're going to discuss the role of civil society organizations in the development of the region. And we can also add to that the role of the private sector, because we've noticed that both sets of organizations must work together in assisting government in achieving the goals of any agenda that we have for the OECS region.
She added that they are also going to identify the specific roles of trade unions within the social protection aspect of free movement process.
Free movement and free movement of persons within the OECS region. We're also going to discuss and build awareness of the OECS contingent rights, and that will be a component of the third presentation. Now we're going to identify ways in which all the participants of the workshop can ensure that as citizens move from state to state, their rights can be taken with them and their rights are going to be met within the social protection floor, within the state that they have moved to. In terms of the expected outcomes, at the end of this, we would just want to have an increased awareness of everyone here about the free movement, the revised treaty. We need specific recommendations from all the organizations on how to increase collaboration between all parties, CSOs, private sector, government, and the OECS Commission, and specific recommendations on how to advance the rights of citizens as they move from member state to member.
In other news now, as the Christmas season heightens, the police are advising consumers to be on the alert for fake currencies. Constable Colin May, attached to the Criminal Investigation Department, said there will be criminals preying on unsuspected shoppers and circulating counterfeit notes. Constable May warns that it is an offense to spend fake monies and gave pointers on how to identify the real from the phony.
If you hold it up, you would see the line, the watermark. Counterfeit currency do not have that. If you turn it around, you would see the queen face. Counterfeit currency do not have that. If you slightly turn the money, you would see the fish, the goldfish. Counterfeit money does not have that. So, these are just some tips. We just want our citizens to be on the lookout. Of course, we have we have the updated notes from the ECCB. Most of the currencies have the cricket bat and so on. The stumps, the currency. So we just want to encourage our citizens out there to be on the lookout for counterfeit currency. And you must remember that it's an offense to be in possession of counterfeit currency and also to tender counterfeit currency. And the police will be on the lookout. Once somebody is arrested, they will be arrested and taken to court.
Minister responsible for cooperatives, Frederick Stevenson, said predial larceny continues to be a major concern for local authorities. Speaking at the launch of the Farmers Cooperative Market on Friday, Minister Stevenson said his government is working on beefing up laws to protect farmers against predial larceny. He noted that while everyone may be trying to get a good bargain on livestock and the produce this season, they must be vigilant not to purchase stolen goods.
This morning send out a strong message to those persons who want to see people work hard in their lands, and then the next thing you know, when you go to reap your tanners and your dashins, the plants are standing up there, but there's nothing in the ground. And I also want to say to the buyers also that you can be charged also if you purchase stolen goods. There's a section in the law which speaks of receiving stolen property, and you can be charged as well.
Well, close to 60 representatives from the fair trade groups will be meeting here tomorrow for the 14th Annual General Assembly to be held under the theme Striving to Survive. The assembly, which will commence at 9 a.m. at the Peace Memorial Hall, will see the fair trade groups reviewing the organization's national report as well as discuss and adopt its 2015 work plan. The meeting will also elect officers to serve on the National Executive for the period 2015. There will also be an election of officers for its supervisory committee. Presently, there are 136 active registered fair trade farmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Minister of Agriculture Subota Caesar and Cozell Peters Fraser, WinFirst coordinator, have been invited to give brief remarks at tomorrow's event. When we come back, Stubbs, Carrere and the Town Hill kicked off their annual 9-morning celebrations in grander style. More stories on the local scene. When we come back, stay with us. Welcome back. With just a few days to go before Christmas, many community groups in the spirit of Christmas are lighting up and preparing their 9 morning activities. In this report, Jamisha Wright has more on 2 of the communities that commence these activities over the weekend. We have a report.
we shall have the victory.
It all got started on the evening of Friday, December 12th in the Career community, when the 9 Mornings and Lighten Up activities were launched under the theme Career Christmas Sweet for Soul. Delivering the welcoming remarks, coordinator of the Career 9 Mornings Committee, Jennifer Richardson, says 2014 marks 12 years since they have been hosting the Lighten Up and 9 Mornings activities, and that 2014 is a very difficult year financially for the committee.
The committee can give you but so much money. Your budget is but this big, so we do need help from year to year, and this year was particularly difficult. Wasn't sure at some point if we could pull it off, but we have done what we could with what we had. We had a few people who helped us. A good friend of mine, all the way in Layu, gave us some lights to help us out with what we're doing here. And we have a son of the soil, a man named Sonny Hazel Peters. We call him PT. Doesn't live in Curry anymore, but he's a Curry man. He lives in Messville. But he was very helpful with giving us some lights as well, and some of the decorations that you see in here.
Minister of Culture Cecil Sesmaki complimented the community group for keeping the 9 Mornings tradition alive, and adds that over the next few years they should expect to be challenged to be even better.
Challenged to be as good as the other communities who are now taking the 9 Mornings activities very seriously. You would also be challenged because very shortly, in January 2015, we will be going into the home stretch of welcoming more persons to our shores. Currently, December, we welcome about 10,000 persons to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The attention then turned to Tongue Hill on Sunday, December 14th, when the committee there turned their lights on under the theme Merry Christmas Vincy Style. Delivering remarks at the launch, Chair of the National 9 Mornings Committee, Michael Peters, congratulated the Tongue Hill Light Up Committee, stating that in just 3 years in the Vinley Community Lighting Competition, the area has already been established as a force to reckon with.
Happened to won the competition and done extremely well. This year again, Tongue Hill is expected to be a force to be reckoned with. Amen. But don't take my word for it. Don't only look at Tongue Hill, go and visit the other communities across the country. Tonight, 9 communities are opening. It just goes to show you how much activity is taking place across this country around this time.
Both events featured a number of cultural performances in dance, drumming and song.
Christmas in one. This year Vincy having 2 Christmas in one.
Reporting for SVGTV News, I am Jamisha Wright.
Meanwhile, the Stubbs community was a hive of activity last evening with the launch of its 9 Morning celebrations. The activities, coordinated by the Southeast Development Incorporated, included steel band music from the Southeast Steel Orchestra, performances from Renaissance Dance Group, Mango Light Dancers, and the Vinley Choir. Despite the jubilant mood, a minute's silence was also observed for the victims of last December floods. Welcoming remarks were made by SEDI President Rosita Snag and cultural icon Cecil Blazer Williams. Minister of Culture Cecil Mackey lauded SEDI and the residents of Stubbs for continually ensuring that the area is filled with excitement during the Christmas season. Minister Mackey pointed out that 9 Mornings activities have gained tremendous fame and coverage by the regional and international media, and over 10,000 visitors now come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines around this time.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been identified as being one of the best places to be on earth Christmas any year. Now we welcome 10,000 or so persons to our shows in December. And I want you to know, a number of them come home because they have heard what is happening out here in Stubbs. You have something unique and special waiting for you. Not only do you have a beautiful light-up setting, but your program is well known throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines and further afield. You have something special waiting for you. What you need to do is to continue to assess and reassess your program to see how you can make it even better than it is now. Yes, it's great, but there is always good, better, and best.
At last evening's ceremony, Dr. Richard Byron Cox, who lives abroad, took the opportunity to make a presentation of $4,500 to the Stubbs Preschool. Dr. Cox said the contribution was made in collaboration with others who wanted to make an impact in the community. Marcia John, who received the donation, thanked Dr. Cox and the others who made the donation possible.
About 4,500, you know. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, on behalf of the Stubbs Preschool, I just want to say a sincere thank you, Mr. Cox, Mr. Ryan, and all those who have donated this sum of money for us. I can assure you that this money will go a long way to help children minds and place in higher minds. These are the future money and we love it tomorrow. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I can assure you that this money, as I said before, will help to shape the